So I'm in the middle of my workout. I just wanted to make this kind of note for myself as well as make it for the video. But when I do my heavier reps on snatches, I just have to fully restart and re-tighten my straps, because I know in that second rep I was thinking about the strap too much, and then I did a bad technical snatch, and then on the third or on the fourth rep that I attempted, it was just too much. So I had to do better. Gotta do better. All right, so I'm back at the house and I'm all done working out for the day. I don't really have too much else to elaborate on outside of the workout, but I'll talk about that for a couple minutes. So the talking portion of this video should be relatively short compared to the last couple of videos that I've had. So today was the last day of the first week of the program, and most of the lifts went well today. I had one random miss at 165 on snatches, and then the one at 195, or I guess two misses, because the one was in front because I was early, and then the second one was behind. I think once I get to the heavy reps, I just have to drop the weight down and then just redo my straps, because on the second one I was just thinking about that right side of that, and then because I wasn't mentally focused as I could be and I was fatigued, went early, did a bad snatch, and then on the fourth one I was just fatigued. It wasn't too bad of a rep, but I was just very tired by that point. Another adjustment I made when I was doing the snatches is I would catch it and squat it down, and either with the lighter weights I would catch it, do an overhead squat, but then as I got heavier I had to catch it slightly lower, so I would stop it where I caught it and then squat it down. That definitely increased the level of fatigue that I was experiencing once I was getting to the upper sets, and just doing repetitions and having that extra range of motion with a full squat, full overhead squat, was definitely something that taxed me a little bit more than it had in previous days, because I hadn't done them. I just did all powers as much as I could. But I think it was something that's beneficial, because as I got fatigued, like I had that miss in front, then I had the catch with 195 where I went all the way down and I was able to stabilize it, and then I had the one where I just missed behind. So I think the overall quality went up slightly, but I definitely have to be more intelligent about the weights, especially with snatches, because of the more aggressive increases are a higher percentage of my 1 rep max, but for other things, it hasn't really negatively impacted me so far. After the snatches, I had power jerks, and I was up to the same rep scheme that I had yesterday with cleans and the day before with cleans. It was up to 255 for 2 sets of 3, and then there was working sets below that. But those went pretty darn well. They were tough, but they technically felt pretty good, and there's always little things to improve. And I jumped back not as much as I had in the past, but I always tend to do that a little bit, and so that's always something I'm trying to improve at, and obviously just trying to use as much leg drive as I can to make those go as well as I can. After the power jerks, I had clean pulls, and the same weights I had before. That might be an adjustment I have to make to the program, is just to do a heavy pull or some heavy pulling of some sort during the week, just because the pulling weights are so submaximal to what I can deadlift, and I don't want that to become detrained like it had in the past. But we'll see how this next week of training goes. Maybe I'll add that in, or maybe I'll stick exactly what the program has and see how it shapes up after a couple weeks, and see if there is no heavy pulling. Because if there's not, then that's going to be kind of a problem, because it's definitely something that made my hips achy in the past when they became untrained from not pulling heavy like I able to. But after the clean pulls, I had back squats, and I went up to 355 for a set of 3, and then I had working sets below that. Paused the last rep on each of the sets again. Those went well. I was trying to keep my back more upright, and they just felt pretty good. By that point, I was very tired, but I'm glad that the weight still moved well. So, like I said, the first week's done, so I'm be curious to see what they show me for next week. I haven't been able to see it yet, because I can only see 1 week at a time, and it hasn't. The next week hasn't loaded yet. I think it will load tomorrow, or hopefully I don't have to wait till Monday, because I'm curious to see what it looks like. But hopefully there's some heavy pulling of some sort, because I certainly would like to do some of that, and I think that's beneficial to do regardless of my personal preference or my liking of them. But anywho, that's about it that I wanted to talk about today, so I will talk to you all in the video tomorrow. If I do record one, I don't have a workout scheduled, but I'll probably do some mobility or unilateral work, just some really light stuff, because I am pretty beat up for the week, muscular-wise, and just mentally fatigued from doing all the stuff this week. So won't be doing too much tomorrow, because who knows what next week will look like. But I'll talk to you all in the next video either way. So hope you all have a great one. Peace.